Breathwork revealed the cage that I didn't know I was living in. A single image showed me the layer beneath the obvious trauma. In one of my first breathwork sessions, I became a gorilla in a cage. Not metaphorically, in my inner world, I was in that body. And the cage was so tight that the bars were right against my skin. There was no space to move, and I felt trapped, claustrophobic, and flooded with sadness. At first I thought it was about animals being encaged. I felt deep grief and compassion. But then I integrated the session and realized that there were many layers to this experience. That gorilla was me. It was the part of me that felt trapped inside my own life. And this is why that matters. Because at the time, I believed that the only real trauma in my life was my son's story. 3 heart surgeries, one 4 days after birth, then 5 months after birth, and then when he was 6 years old. And then his autism diagnosis, and everything that comes with that. I loved him with everything in me. And at the same time, there was a layer of my experience that I pushed away for years. That parts of me felt robbed of freedom. The truth that I felt powerless. The truth that I was carrying more than what my system could hold. And the shame around that was intense. Because what kind of mother even has that thought? Breathwork did not ask of me to be the perfect version of myself. It brought me to the true version of myself. And this is what I want you to understand about breathwork. A breathwork session often looks like breathing, lying down, music, and maybe some tears. But what is really happening is that your nervous system is finally given permission to complete what it could not complete before. Energy that got stuck starts to move. Sometimes it moves through tremors, sometimes through heat and cold moving through your body, sometimes through emotion, sometimes through sensations that feel strange, primal, even unexpected, sometimes like a deep reset and relaxation and feeling you part of everything that exists. And sometimes it comes through images and visions that makes absolutely no sense at first. But those images are not random. They are your inner world, translating what your mind could not name. Because trauma is not only the big event. It is also the patterns that forms around the event. The bracing, the survival programming, the constant holding. And breathwork began to show me that my pain was not only about what happened with my son. It was also connected to much older layers, childhood experiences, birth and in utero imprints, cultural and family line patterns that I could suddenly recognize clearly. It was like my system was saying, this did not start here. And that is what made it profound, because it helped me see that what we resist, avoid, or push away is often the exact place our growth is waiting. The uncomfortable feeling is not a problem to get rid of. It's a doorway. And if we keep avoiding it, it does not disappear. It plays out. It plays out in relationships. It plays out in our health. It plays out as resistance to opportunity. It plays out as self-sabotage, shutdown, or chronic overwhelm. Life keeps bringing the lessons, just in a different shape. So here's another moment from breathwork that changed me. In a later session, I became the gorilla again, but this time it was anger. The trigger was someone's response to my child in real life. And when I breathed, it was like something ancient rose in me. I felt my face change in the session. I felt teeth. I felt the raw move up deep in my chest. And it was the pure protective force that said, do not come near my child. And as intense as it was also clean, because anger is not bad. Anger is energy. Anger can be movement, anger can be truth, anger can be a boundary. But when anger is suppressed, it turns inward. It becomes tension in the body. It becomes illness. It becomes bitterness. It becomes a kind of inner war that quietly drains your life. When anger is allowed to move safely, it can become clarity. And after that release, something softened in me. Not because I stopped loving or protecting my child, but because I was no longer carrying all that suppressed force inside my body, and I could respond outwardly without resentment. And this is the part people often miss. Breathwork is not only about a session. It trains your nervous system for life. It strengthens the natural pathway of courage, the pathway that says, I can feel discomfort and still stay present. I can face what is true without collapsing. I can meet intensity without bracing. And over time, that changes the way you respond to everything. Your relationships, your boundaries, your ability to take opportunities, your capacity to stay open when life feels hard. That is what breathwork gave me. More space inside myself, more emotional truth, more freedom to be human. Not perfect, honest. So if you have been feeling stuck in a pattern, or heavy in your body, or like you keep reacting in a way you do not fully understand, it may not be that you are dysfunctional or broken. It may be that your nervous system is holding unfinished material. And here is a way to let it move. Gently, safely, in a health space. If this speaks to you, you are welcome to reach out. Send me a message with the word breathe and tell me what you have been carrying, and I will guide you to the most aligned next step, whether it's a single session, Breathe to Thrive community, or a deeper journey to thrive process.